to it all. Alright. Second. Gotta drink some protein. I didn't get a chance to eat breakfast. Yeah. So let's just go through scriptures. Bible. Yeah. You brothers out there, get yourself one of these bags like this. You know, so like a little satchel, so you can throw over your shoulder. You can put your books in there. You know, you can have snacks. Hell, even a fanny pack will do. You know? If I didn't say it already, double honor to the elders and the apostles of GMS. Great Millstone. Forgive me if I didn't say that earlier. I'm a little bit spent, a little beat. Just need rest. I'll rest after I finish teaching. I'm done. I'll go home. I'll go to bed. Something closer. Alright, so wait a second. Nice words. Alright, so this is naturalnews.com. Irish farmers outraged over government plan to kill 200 cows to meet climate goals. So Irish farmers are pushing back against a proposal by the government to kill hundreds of cows in hopes of meeting their commitment to becoming climate neutral. A report by the Irish Department of Agriculture outlined how 200 cows could be killed over the next 2 years to meet carbon targets. The plan would reportedly come at a cost of around 600 million euros to taxpayers. The document indicating that 5,000 euros per cow would be offered as compensation. So they're offering so they're going to kill cows at the cost of taxpayers, and then it'll be 5,000 euros per cow will be offered as compensation, I'm assuming, to the farmers, which you can't just do that to farmers. They can't just kill their livestock and then just give them some money and call it a day. The country's Environmental Protection Agency said that the agriculture industry was creating nearly 30% of the greenhouse gas emissions there, and much of it stems from the methane and livestock that use of nitrogen fertilizer. The country is committed to reducing its agriculture emission by 25% by the year 2030. Alright, now this whole stuff with environmental science, I won't say environmental science itself is really a bad thing. Like, studying how pesticides affect the earth, affect the ecosystem and the ecology. I don't think that in itself is really the problem. The problem is this whole, global warming, global cooling type of scam. That's kind of where you start to get the issues. Them believing that the earth is going to flood. The earth isn't going to flood, because God made a promise to all the flesh that the earth would never flood again. And the Most High keeps his promises, Go on, that cop is kicking me out. Every time I see a cop, I get nervous because cops are the biggest threat to you while you're out here teaching the scriptures. You could be having a good lesson and it takes one cop just to come by and say, hey man, this place is private. It could not even be private. You could damn well be a public space, but they'll kick you out anyway. So let's see here. The country's Environmental Protection Agency said that the agriculture industry is creating nearly 40% of the greenhouse gas emissions there, right? So on and so forth, right? They're calling the plan a dairy reduction scheme, With the reduction, the result is a census slaughter of hundreds of thousands of animals, and the name was somehow helping the environment. The call would entail killing 65,000 cows per year over the next 3 years, reducing the country's overall dairy herd by 10%. It is being positioned as a potential retirement exit scheme for Asian farmers. Okay, so the killing off the animals is the movement towards, getting rid of the meat entirely. Right? Unless they really want to do. Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Daniel, see if I can find this without looking it up. If I can find this without looking it up, it's Micah, Jonah, Haggai, Amos. I'm looking at the table of contents. See what I'd like to find here. Okay, come on. 76, 12:12, 12:08. There we go. So, this is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 1. I will stand upon my watch, I'll set me upon the tower of watch, and see what you say unto me, will I shall enter, and I will prove. The Lord answered me and said, write the vision, and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. And also make the scriptures plain upon tables. Alright, so give people to break down the scriptures, and they're going to be clear in plain way. Don't, over-explain it. Explain it, but don't, make it complicated. The scripture says, the break down the scriptures are no private interpretation. The break down scriptures with the paraphrasing. There's no private interpretation. We're very open and we're clear about, what we're here to do and what we want you people out there to do. So there was something there about that word run that I want to go ahead and talk about here. Just give it a quick second. So we let this thing roll. See what chapter 2. That's not the problem with the spot. Your cars could shit the park here. Let me move this shit. There. Alright, so he may have won that readeth it, right? He may run. Run swiftly, footman guard, bring hastily, run away, post. Pause, do quickly, run away swiftly. So I guess you could break that out. Run, go out, so go back to post, mean to carry the news. Tell what's going on, the woeful expedition and be recording. It also goes into how, when Jacob's trouble really starts to pop up, we're actually gonna physically be running. Running from the, FEMA troops, running from, these different foreign nationals and stuff like that. So yes, that's all that's going into. Right? And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet from the appointed time, but the end shall speak and not lie. Boys, tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come and will not tarry. Right? And the prophecies are speaking loud and clear in these times, man. We're hearing of, we got other news articles about, governments collapsing all around the world. It's just day 5-day, week by week, month by month. You know, we're just seeing more and more events go on the world. There was a blood moon that came not too long ago. So yeah, man, it's going down, man. The prophecies are definitely speaking. Alright? Yep. Verse 3, for the vision is yet for a appointed time, right? But the soul which is lifted up is not right in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Right. So that's talking about Esau, man. His soul which is lifted up is not right in him. Okay. Something more I want to speak on. What was I thinking of with this one? Oh, I know what I meant to get. I got the wrong thing. But, you know, that one right there, because, you know, the people that run the Irish government, you know, chances are they're not even Jakes. You know. But, there's something else I was going to get. I didn't get that one right. Defiled bread. I thought that was in Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter. Maybe not. I thought I saw it here, but, no, I didn't. Yeah, so this is Ezekiel chapter 4, verse 11. Thou shalt also drink water by measure, the 6th part of the hin, from time to time shalt thou drink. Alright, so that means you gotta be drinking bottled waters. If you look at bottled water, you know, bottles of water, they actually have the actual measure of how much water is in there. I believe they come with 500 milliliters. It's like in a standard bottle of water. You know, so we literally do that now. Right? In times past, you know, we have like a well, or maybe you have a community well or something, or you have like you know, every house has its own well, every home. You know, I mean, you can just get as much water as you want. You know, nowadays, you know, you can't do that. You don't got no private well. You know, now, if you live in a city, you probably don't. You know. But if you ever go to like upstate, you know, like I spent a lot of time upstate, you know, for schooling and stuff. But if you ever go to upstate, you see a lot of people have like their own wells and stuff. They have like septic tanks, and stuff like that, stuff that they could take groundwater and then like purify it, and, you know, clean it and use it. You know, but you don't really see that up here. Verse 12, and thou shalt eat as barley cakes, thou shalt bake it with dung that cometh out of man in your sight. This is mainly talking about with this one, the tribe of Levi. They're known for doing that. They literally make shit burgers, you know, and that's not to, I mean, it is to poke fun of them, but it's some deadly serious shit, you know. That's their curses, and, you know, full open you know, air, you know, the so-called Hatians, they literally eat shit cakes. That's how bad they got it, you know. They actually used to be one of the richest countries at one point. I believe after the Haitian Revolution, because, you know, they had like a lot of resources and stuff down there in Haiti. They were actually one of the richest nations out there, but, you know, in time they just kind of fell apart. You know, same thing happens to other Greek nations. You know, out there in Nigeria, people in Nigeria will tell you that Nigeria is a failed state, and Nigeria is all kinds of messed up. You know, corruption is rampant. You know, all these nations are jacked up. You know, all nations that we run, they're all jacked up. Right? Verse 13, the Lord said, even thus shall children of Israel eat defiled bread among the Gentiles, where thou wilt drive them. And this is also another Israelite foreigner scripture, man. Whither I will drive them, because we've been driven to, you know, all parts of the earth, man. You know, like it says in Zechariah, the chapter is them, full of horns. See, there's a four beasts, you know, which have scattered, you know, Judah and Israel and part of his people, man. Joel, rough paraphrase, but it also says that in Joel 3rd chapter, how they parted my land, you know. We got heathen in our land now, right? And they drove us out. And we got driven out, you know. But that's not really to get into that too far. You know, we know that this is like foreigners, you know, and just because someone looks like another nation doesn't mean that they're like, you know, that other nation, you know, because on my father's side, believe it or not, we go back to white men, you know, people that look white. But I mean, you see me out here, you know, I clearly believe, Lord won't have the spirit and stuff. The word of the Lord doesn't take away the spirit from me. I have faith. I really do believe the scriptures. I keep the law to the best of my ability. I'm not perfect, but I try, man. So it doesn't matter. And if y'all say, oh, yo, daddy, your father's father is white, then if you kick me out or disqualify me, then every other brother out there that looks white, you have to give it to him too. That's the Joel 3rd chapter. Joel chapter 3 verse 1, for all those days in that time, when I shall bring them the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations and bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat. And plead them there from my people, from my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations to the part of my land. Alright, so that's pretty much it, man. Amalek, those Ishmaelites, who else? Yeah, mostly Amalek and Ishmael down there, man. You guys have scattered his people, part of his land, man. Because the Jews, they were big into the slave trade. During was the Judah P. Benjamin was the big name. They called him the brains of the Confederacy. When you look into him, you got another one. Can't remember his name. We got the Rothschilds, of course. They were the ones really behind all the slave trade and all that stuff. Because everything goes back to the Rothschilds, man. They're the ones with the power and the money. There was French banking families that were involved in the Civil War. So all this stuff, man. These rich banking families, they've been involved with the slave trade from the start, bro. They've been all up and down in there, man. So let's go down. Right, we know this is families coming on the earth, man-made families. The president of the Irish Farmers Association, Tim Conway, said that the plan will only serve to increase farmers' mistrust in the government and will not have the intended environmental aims. Alright, so this is something that's happening in Ireland. You people out there and say, oh, this is happening in Ireland, this has nothing to do with meat. But hey, man, they're going to start coming against the cows and sheep and animals in America too, man. Which they've been doing with this whole bird flu thing, And it's only going to get worse. And the animals are going to get killed off, And you keep killing them, until they start being people out, man. They'll feed you bugs. And that's why I got the kafar on bread. But that's what's going to come to you. That's going to come to you. It's going to get worse, You already have the foul food, but y'all going to literally be eating fucking roach burgers, man, and fucking, unlawful food, man. Straight up garbage, Not to say all bugs are unlawful. Certain insects like locusts, you can actually eat. Locusts are actually kosher, You can actually eat locusts. It's actually fine. He said reducing dairy or beef production, right? Yeah, so reducing dairy or beef production in Ireland will also lead to carbon leakage with production moving to other countries with a higher carbon footprint is likely to increase global warming than reducing it. We don't believe in global warming because the Lord controls everything. Why would the Lord create a mechanism for the earth to warm up and burn up and stuff like that? Why would he do that? Well, Scripture says that the earth will, exist forever. The earth will pass not away. I think in Ecclesiastes, so the earth isn't going nowhere, man. It's not gonna blow up in a puff of smoke. It's not gonna explode. It's not gonna freeze over. None of that shit, bro. The earth is gonna be around today. It's gonna be around, thousands of years from now, millions of years from now. The earth ain't going nowhere, man. Irish Creamery Milk Suppliers Association President Pat McCormack, these the focus should be on other sectors when it comes to helping the environment. He said we're the one industry with a significant roadmap. And to be quite honest, what you all heard isn't any larger than it was 25 or 30 years ago. Can the same be said for the transport industry? Can the same be said for the aviation industry? He added that any culling that takes place needs to be done on a voluntary basis. McCormack said that farmers will be willing to do their part to help preserve the environment. That first the issue is not a solution. Right, so they're clearly testing things over here in Ireland. they really go out with this, they're gonna see how the people deal with it. You know, and in time, you know, we're gonna have more and more stuff like that. You know, come over here to the States. You know, all in your tax dollar, man. You know, this is another unlawful decree. No, it's in that decree, unrighteous decree. It's another unrighteous decree. You know, it's making people poor, taking away money from people. You know, taking away the animals, taking away the meat. You know, to bring in and usher in that that famine. The scripture says in Matthew 24, there should be famines in these last days, man. You know, that's what's gonna happen. This is a man-made famine, right? The Irish know about this from the potato famine. A third of the population died, a third immigrated. About the same thing will happen. They will lose productive people from Ireland. They'll go somewhere else. Elon Musk has also written a proposal to reply to an editorial wondering if American herds will soon follow suit. This really needs to stop. Killing some cows doesn't matter for climate change. Facts. Animal meat has been a long target of environmentalists and governments looking to exert more power. Freaking foods like Beyond Meat are being pushed into masses, and tactics such as carbon taxes, agricultural subsidies, and tax schemes are being used to limit the availability of meat. Some have even called for meat consumption to be banned. Alright? That's what I'm saying. Defiled bread, man. You know, they're gonna soon they're trying to get rid of all the meat. And they can make the people vegan, man. You know, and they can make friendly foods. You know, and that's anything wrong with being vegan in itself. You know, but for our ways, we're not vegan. You know, we have to eat on the lamb on the Passover. That's not negation. You know, but before the Passover was instituted, and back in the garden before, you know, Adam fell and all that stuff, we did used to be vegan. You know, according to the elders. You know, Microsoft founder Bill Gates has said that he believes that all working nations should switch to 100% synthetic beef. He has provided financial backing for new alternative brands of the possible foods and Beyond Meat. Slave meats are often made from maize and genetic modification, and the long-term effects of human life are not known. Lab-grown meats also fall short when it comes to nutrition, with many options lacking protein and other important nutrients. Alright, and we know that protein, you know, is important for building muscle, you know, important for muscle repair, joint repair, things like that. And we know that meat, even though you can't get your protein out of like plant sources, meat tends to be higher quality protein sources. You know, hell, I mean, even if you weren't gonna eat meat, I mean, dairy is a high quality protein source. You know, so if you're straight up vegan, you know, I don't know how you're really gonna get your protein sources like that. But I'm not gonna hate on any brother. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. If you can build muscle just fine, you're just fine existing like that, then do your thing, man. I'm not gonna get on someone on something like that. I honestly don't care. You know, as long as you eat, you know, lamb on the Passover, then, you know, whatever you do those other days, I honestly could care less. You can be fruitarian for all I care. You can just eat fruits and veggies. I don't care. You know, it doesn't matter. Just whatever you want to do. It's up to you, man. We're done with this. Alright, so this is the second article I got here is from Natural News. Google Cloud launches AI-powered anti-money laundering tool for banks, paving the way for Orwellian financial surveillance. So Google Cloud has launched a tool powered by AI to combat money laundering. The tool could pave the way for surveillance and tied with the so-called social credit system. However, the cloud computing subsidiary of the search engine giant launched the anti-money laundering AI, AML AI tool, which is designed to detect illicit financial activities. Last June 21st, AML AI seeks to address limitations of traditional rules-based systems that rely heavily on human monitoring. You know, like the banks, when they look at your bank account and try to see if you're engaging in money laundering, which they can then give up to the cops. You know, so if you're a criminal, you know, you gotta, you know, be very careful. You know, that's why it's dumb to be a criminal, because the cops, it doesn't matter where you put your money. It don't matter what encrypted software or whatever the fuck you use. The cops can access these companies to hand out your data. They can get your search records. They can get your call records. They can get anything off you, Current anti-money laundering, right. So current anti-money laundering products predominantly employ manually defined rules and requires substantial resources to monitor vast number of transactions within the financial industry. Google's Cloud AML AI makes use of machine learning to overcome this hurdle, enabling the tool to swiftly identify high-risk retail and commercial customers and provides more accurate results than the legal worker for banking goods responsible for monitoring suspicious activities. Which that's already going against, human rights. Someone could be able to look into your bank account and see your stuff, man. That's going against people's right of privacy, man. That ain't right. The fact that we have to have a bank account to begin with is not right, man. Back in the day, you would just have all your money with you, but I guess it has its own benefits in a way. Because back then, we need to carry our gold. We have a place for it. Even though gold and silver is real money, I do understand and get why they wanted to create banknotes. The problem is that the banknotes in time were stopped being they were stopped from being backed by gold and silver, and they became fiat currencies. I can't remember what was it called, the Bretton Woods Agreement, I think, got into that whole thing. They created the fiat currency, right? It became a fiat currency. That Bretton Woods thing, which I believe that was a meeting between various government individuals, and they basically said that they were gonna, make the dollar fiat. I can't remember everything, but I just remember how that agreement, some events later, the American dollar became fiat. It has no value, right? According to Google Cloud, using AML AI gives banks several advantages over existing systems. These include increased risk detection, lower operational cost, improved government and defensibility, and enhanced customer service. HSBC is one such customer that's got the Google Cloud tool. The Wall Street Journal said the AML AI would cut the number of alerts HSBC received by as much as 60% while increasing their accuracy. Jennifer Calvary, HSBC's group head of financial crime risk and compliance, reiterated the benefits of AML AI for the banking giant. According to her, has improved the precision of her financial crime detection, reduced alert volumes, and accelerated the analysis of billions of transactions from weeks to mere days. Right? Moving on, Big Brother AI is looking at your bank account. Okay? So that's what this whole thing is, man. They're looking into your bank account. They're, taking out your privacy. Your right to privacy is being stripped from you, man, more and more. They already can hack your phone, use your camera and your microphone. They're probably watching me right now, but I don't sweat those sort of things, man, because at the end of the day, man, I'm gonna have to get rid of the phone eventually. And number two, I don't fear these things, man. Like Scripture says, like we have the Scriptures to tell us, I fear none of these things, but thou shalt suffer. Though be locked up those 10 days, fear none of those things thou shalt suffer. Whether you're locked up or in general, man, fear none of those things you shall suffer. So I'm not afraid, the police or the cops, if they come over here and hem me up and lock me up, so be it, man. At the end of the day, I know what I came here to do. the scripture says, you know, be wary when you build, you know. Like, there's a scripture in the New Testament that talks about that, like you'll be as one who builds a house on the seashore. You see it, take care, dude, fucking do as I tell you. Take care how you build. Then I'm gonna go into this scripture. Dude. 1 Corinthians. Build on the sand. Matthew 7. If I can't find it, I'm gonna give up. Chapter 14. It's the book of Luke chapter 14, verse 28. Yahushua is speaking, for which of you intending to build a tower sitteth not down first and count the cost, whether he has sufficient to finish it? Thus haply after he laid the foundation is not able to finish it, all that behold it began to mock him, saying, this man began to build and was not able to finish. Alright, so you gotta, you know, count the cost, man. You know what you're getting into. You gotta know what you're dealing with, man. You know what you're dealing with in this truth. You know, weeks and weeks and weeks. You know, months and months and months. You know, having to come out here, having to deal with people, having people shit on you. You know, having people try to bump into you, try to bump into your sign, bump into your tripod. I mean. You know, you gotta know what you're dealing with, man. Demons, demonic attacks, you know, your family turning against you. Some of us have to, you know, really have to teach the truth in secret. We have no other choice. Some of us, you live with your parents. And you gotta be a little sneaky and stuff. You do have to lie, you know. And then it becomes a pain, man. It becomes a pain, you know. You have to damn near sneak out the house, you know, to, you know, teach His word. I can't tell anyone about, you know, what it is that I get into. You know, they may know that I may have revealed by accident that I do believe the scriptures, that I do believe in, you know, that I'm an Israelite, but, you know, I can't tell them that, hey, you know, I come out here every single week, and I teach the scriptures. You know, I can't tell them that. They look at me like I'm crazy. Okay, so let's go back to this article. Then we're going to, so back in early June, and this right here shows that Esau's wise and Daniel, man. You know, because what they're doing right here with machine learning, they're creating a system to watch and look into people's bank accounts. So back in early June, Zero Hedge's Tyler Durden noted a similar endeavor pushed by the Bank of International Settlements called Project Aurora. The project is designed to make use of AI as a tool in the same way as Google's EML AI to monitor vast flows of financial transactions from all over the world in order to identify specifically flagged patterns. right? And all this stuff is leading to the MLTB, man. You know, these systems, these AI systems, you know, how they can track financial payments all over the world. And all that stuff is leading up to what they're going to be doing with the MLTB, man. Be able to watch people on a massive scale and track them using AI, man. According to critics, machine learning algorithms may not accurately capture the nuanced contextual information needed to identify actual risks. Some even speculate that the reliance on AI and the push for cashless society may contribute to a Big Brother scenario similar to Orwell's 1984, of how you have a big figure that's just kind of controlling everything else. Tools such as AML AI would enable banks worldwide immediate access to anyone's account worldwide. In a similar way, this would enable globalists to target individuals labeled as offenders with impunity and identified by an algorithm. Well, the latest AI spy program launched to monitor global bank transactions for money laundering. People know this is an excuse to serve their private accounts. Well, this is saying that they can't, you know, insert some money into your account and fuck with your account, you know, and frame you and make you out to be a financial criminal when you're not. You know, that could be, once again, another way they can go ahead and get at us, man. You know, there's a lot of different ways you can come at us, but the real mean way that they're probably going to use is just by freezing our accounts. Because instead of having to frame us and do all the work of doing that, all they got to do is say, okay, well, MOTB, we're pushing that out. You don't have an account, we're closing your bank, your account with this bank. You know, also, you know, that's all going to come after Jacob's trouble, because the MOTB is going to be the order ad KO, man. So the MOTB is going to come, well, technically during Jacob's trouble, but it's going to come after Jacob's trouble is here for a while. Then they're going to push out this microchip as, okay, this is the solution. Take this chip, and then after that, you know, I took the pause too hard, made it premiere. I'll probably go watch that when I'm on my way home. But yeah, my phone is getting low anyway. I'll probably charge that in a few minutes. Right. But you know, in the meantime, they could possibly use that. You know, while Jacob's trouble is going on, they could possibly do that. Start coming up against us, man. You know, before the MOTB comes up. It's possible. But really, our temptation is with the MOTB. So, you know, however it goes down, though, man. You know, I might be wrong. I'm just making extrapolations. It may not even happen like that. But at the end of the day, this is just practice for them when they do set up the MOTB to watch over people's financial activity on a massive scale. Because, you know, when you have people taking the MOTB, you're going to have millions upon millions of people microchipped. So they need to have a way with AI to be able to track those financial transactions. Moreover, they're concerned, and similar to how the war on drugs is used as justification for governments to obtain unrestricted accesses to citizen finances, fair money laundering could be used to grant governments and global banks extensive surveillance powers through AML AI. Right? Also, the war on terror was using that excuse to get, you know, people's call records, to watch people's calls, tap people's phone calls, things like that, get all people's data, spy on them, you know, watch them take a dump, you know. I'm being facetious, but you know, that's what they do. It's what this government does, man. These powers have been abused in various ways, just by freezing accounts based on mere suspicions of a crime rather than actual conviction. While the project emphasizes the use of AI as a means to help financial institutions detect suspicious financial activities, it is essential to remember that AI programs serve their creators. Whoever controls the AI also controls the selection of targets for surveillance. Right? That's why we said what we said, man. They're going to start coming against people, you know, possibly during Jacob's trouble. After they push the MOTB, they're going to start getting after you guys that are anti-government, you know, guys that are whistleblowers. I'm talking about actual whistleblowers, not dudes that are controlled opposition. You know, you start having many guys up, man. Start looking at your bank account, start framing you for shit that you know you didn't do. You know, and so on and so forth. You know, but the main takeaway here is as I said before, Ezekiel 28, and also the other scripture in the New Testament: the children of this world are wise and the children of light. You see that? Children. This has another meaning when you look at it in context. Yeah, the children of this world are wiser than the children of light. You can go into that one too. You know, just going into that one, that verse in particular. You know, that's what it means, man. The children of this world, these Edomites, man, they're wiser than us on a physical level. But there's a whole different context when you go into that one, you go to it in its full extent. Which I'm not gonna do that today. You know, I'm just gonna keep it, you know, real simple, real basic. This is probably gonna be the last one I get into. Europe is Reuters.com. Poland moves troops to eastern border amid Wagner fears. Alright. And I don't know if this has been updated, but I saw this yesterday. This came out yesterday at like 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock. Warsaw, July 8th, Poland began moving over 1,000 troops to the east of the country on Saturday. The defense minister said amid rising concerns that NATO members, the presence of the Wagner group files in Belarus could lead to increased tensions on this border. Russian President Vladimir Putin's decision to offer mercenary fighters of Guatemala, Reuben's Wagner group relocating to Belarus has led to fears among Eastern NATO members that the presence will cause greater instability in the region, around their border. This is what's coming up, man. This is what's coming up. We can just get wars, rumors of wars. That's a real basic one for the day on that. As I said, today we're just gonna keep it basic. Just keep, as I said before, I just want to get into those articles, break out some scriptures. So this is the book of Matthew, chapter 24 and 6. Each year wars and rumors of wars, you should be not troubled. Always thinks what's coming to end, but the end is not yet. Right, and that right there was a rumor of war. You know, it was a rumor. You know, a war was gonna possibly break out between Russia, and this Wagner group, but it didn't come out well. I think they kind of diffused the whole situation, which makes sense. Putin has enough on his plate already, dealing with Ukraine and stuff like that. He doesn't want to have to fight Wagner. Which is smart, We can go back to this article here. That's exactly over 1,000 soldiers and almost 200 units of equipment from the 12th and 17th Mechanized Brigades started to move to the east of the country. Mary's Razak wrote on Twitter. Right? Who's Mary Razak? Who the fuck is that? Minister of National Defense of Poland. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Let's keep reading here. This is a demonstration of our readiness to respond to attempts at destabilization near the border of our country. Last Sunday, Poland said it would send 500 police to shore up security at its border with Belarus. Poland has seen an increase in the number of migrants trying to cross the Belarus border recent weeks, according to the border guard. Over 200 people tried to cross illegally on Friday, including citizens from Morocco, India, and Ethiopia. Poland has accused Belarus of artificially creating a migrant crisis on the border since 2021 by flying in people from the Middle East and Africa and attempting to push them across the frontier. A senior Wagner commander was quoted as saying on Saturday the mercenaries from the group were preparing to move to Belarus. Okay, so as I said before, wars and rumors of wars, you know, and things are starting to heat up out there, man. You know, these troops coming out to Belarus. You know, and we know that America's behind everything, right? You know, as it says, you know, America's God's never been up to the battle that great day. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 16, verse Revelation 16 and 14. For they, the spirits of devils, working miracles, which go forward to the kings of earth and the whole world to gather together the battle that great day of God Almighty. Right? So, you know, that's what's coming down, man. You know, these nations, starting with America, they're gathering everyone up, you know, for that battle, man. You know, which that's a forgotten part. I never mentioned that. You know, the mercenary groups are also going to be involved in World War III, man. You know? So let's see, I want to see if there's anything, Alright, well that's that. I wanted to see if there's any updates. Ukraine-Poland leaders jointly mark World War II massacres as strained ties. No, there don't seem to be any sort of updates to that article. It's just that they're in fear. So, you guys got that one. I'll go take a look. Maybe something will come out tomorrow. So, borders once again. Dutch government collapses over immigration policy by Bar H. Major and Anthony Gooch, July 7, 2023. Alright, so you see here, Amsterdam, July 7th. The Dutch government collapsed on Friday after failing to reach a deal on restricted immigration, which would trigger new elections in the fall. The crisis was triggered by a push by Prime Minister Mark Rutte's conservative ZVD party to limit the flow of asylum seekers to the Netherlands, which Chile's four-party coalition refused to support. It's no secret that the coalition parties have been differing opinions about immigration policy. Today, we unfortunately have to conclude that those differences become insurmountable. The following attended the resignation of the entire cabinet to the king, what said in the televised news conference. This is what we're seeing, man. Uproars of the people in the world, man. You know, nations are falling left and right, and the people are ignorant, man. Okay? The scripture says, right, in I think it's 2nd Ezra 6th chapter, you know, that the scriptures are the measuring stick. Measured all the time diligently itself. The measuring stick, the measuring tool is the scriptures. You read the scriptures to learn and see, you know, what's going on in the news. Use the scriptures basically as a reference point to know, all right, hey, you know, we're really moving to the end of these things, and then we got to move accordingly, man. It's Lowell and let's see, yeah, your brother out there in the Netherlands, all right. I don't think this has anything to do with Holland. I don't know if there's any. I guess Holland is in the Netherlands, right? Let me look at the Netherlands. That is. So the greatest difference between Holland and the Netherlands, this is 12 provinces, but many people use Holland when talking about the Netherlands. right? We don't really want to get into the history of all that. Typically Dutch. Let's see the South Pole. Okay, so it looks like an area. Holland is in. Holland seems to be in the Netherlands. Okay, good to know. Holland seems to be in the Netherlands. I don't really know. I don't know these areas. You know, I've never been in there, but you brothers in that region, man, you know, well, you brothers be alright. Yeah, let's see here. Tensions came to a head this week when Reuben demanded support for a proposal to limit entrance of children of war refugees who are already in the Netherlands and to make families wait at least 2 years before they can be reunited. The latest proposal went too far for the small Christian Union and Liberal D66, causing a stalemate. This coalition will stay on its caretaker government to a new administration's found and new elections. The process and effect of the political landscape usually takes months. Right? So hey man, people are not dying, are not going for this shit, man. And looks like he's been disposed as leader. Yep. Central News Agency ANP signed the National Elections Committee, so elections will not be held before mid-November. The caretaker government cannot decide the policies. Let's say it will not affect the country's support for Ukraine. The Netherlands has already one of the toughest immigration policies under the pressure of right-wing parties that have for months been trying to seek ways to further reduce the inflow of asylum seekers. You know, so they probably don't want the darker nations to get into the country. You know how these guys are. Again. Okay. So yeah, it looks like they weren't really fucking with people trying to get into the country, kind of left them alone. And that so it seems like his political party is pretty much like out. It seems like they share on top of his party. So yeah, so pretty much the people aren't rocking with him, and they're waiting. They're pretty much sitting by and waiting until new elections can come by and they can go reinstate someone new. Hey man, that's upwards of the people. That counts. You know, so you know that's a government collapse. You know, it's not all the way collapse like civil wars, machine gun fire, but it's political turmoil. You know, political turmoil leading to political tension. You know, it's led to this guy's political party pretty much being put on the sidelines. Right, so that's the east to east. This is once again, the launch the hours across the GMS with Millstone. And I'm pretty much done out here. Shalom to you, brothers.